Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be more of a serious one. It's a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it, but I said to heck with it, and I'm just going to do it anyways because it is a part of my life. I want to talk to you about my journey with infertility. And I have a bunch of notes down here, so if you see me looking down, that is why, because I'm going to try and get through my whole story or whatever the best I can, and the best way to do that is to kind of read my notes, so bear with me. I believe I started getting my periods when I was about 12 years old, and ever since I can remember, they have been irregular. Most of the time, especially in the beginning, they go probably anywhere from 6 to 9 months. I'd go without having a period. Back when I was younger, PCOS wasn't very common. No one really ever talked about it. So my mom thought that I had things wrong with my periods, or she felt like something wasn't right. My hormones were out of whack. I'd be depressed, crabby, whatever. Even went through a bout of depression when I was in 9th grade. Hit me out of nowhere. That's basically what hormones can do to you. So finally, I think I was about 15 years old. My mother brought me into my gynecologist to kind of see what was going on. That would have been my first pap and pelvic, and they diagnosed me with PCOS. Like I said, not many people knew what that was back then. It doesn't run in my family. My mother and I believe her sisters and stuff, well, I mean, I know they don't have it, but they were regular. They always knew when their periods would be. Back then I didn't know what it was, and if for anyone that doesn't know what it is that's watching this now, basically you have irregular periods. Well, some people do, some people don't. I happen to have tons of cysts on my ovaries, just fluid-filled sacs on there. Causes infertility, obviously, because that's why I'm talking to you. It causes weight gain, basically in your midsection. Excessive testosterone, which causes hair growth, just major imbalance in your hormones. You can become insulin resistant, diabetic. Luckily for me, so far, well, I shouldn't say so far because I'm not going to let it happen to me. I don't have any of that. Very minimal facial hair. I think the only thing for me that stands out with my PCOS is my weight gain in my midsection and a little bit of like facial hair and, acne, typical stuff. But back then, the doctors told me, or the doctor that I had told me that once I got pregnant, I wouldn't have a problem getting pregnant in the future, and that should basically be the best cure. There is no cure for PCOS, but pregnancy should help with that. So, let's see. She put me on birth control for a little bit just to kind of regulate my cycles, and on birth control, I had a period every single time you were supposed to. The moment you go off birth control, or I went off birth control, bam, back to irregular periods. Then I started dating my husband. We started dating the summer of junior year and in high school. Once I graduated, like right after, moved out. Mom hates me for that because right after graduation I moved out. I was anxious. I'm impatient. Basically at that point stopped preventing anything, didn't use protection. I just figured if I'm going to have problems getting pregnant, that just let nature take its course, If it happens, it happens, because you never know how long it would take. And just a tiny bit of background, I love babies. I'm obsessed with them. I always have been, so becoming a mother for me was like my goal. I wanted to be a mother. Anytime there's a baby around, even till this day, I have to hold it. So that's just a little insight on that. Fast forward about 4 years, still nothing was happening. I got engaged. I guess at that time we were trying a little more, moving towards the direction of, really wanting that baby. Nothing was happening. Periods were still irregular. Got married in 2008. And that's when we really started trying and nothing was happening. Went to my OBGYN and she gave me Clomid, which for me didn't work. All it did for me was overstimulate me, is what they called it. It gave me a lot of little tiny follicles. None of them were large enough or not a lot of them matured to being a big enough follicle to release to be an egg, I guess is how you would say that. We worked with the OBGYN for a little bit. I am not sure how long. Sorry, my timeline is really sketchy because my infertility journey has been a long one. So I'm trying to remember this stuff the best that I can. But at that point, I was referred to a fertility specialist, and we all know those are very, very expensive. I didn't have insurance at the time. Most of the insurance back then, I don't know if they are different now, didn't cover a lot of fertility stuff because most insurances don't redeem that as a necessary thing. I think it cost in between $200 and $300 just for my consultation, and that was right up front. They did labs on me, took my history, just wanted to make sure that everything my OBGYN did for me was still current at the time. My husband got a sperm analysis. And then that brings us to result day, is what I call it. They brought me and my husband into like a conference style room. The doctor said, yep, you have PCOS. I already knew that. He was just going over all of my lab work and whatnot. And this doctor was from like New York, so he talked really fast and, all the terminology he was just spitting out. And then all of a sudden he says, your husband's got, I can't remember at the time what he said. There's the bad morphology and whatnot. Basically, the words that came out of his mouth were your only option is IVF. For me, time stopped. That was the worst moment of my life. Like IVF, I already been dealing with PCOS and now I have another issue to deal with. I mean, how are we gonna afford that? Like my world just stopped. My heart just broke. Let's see what else. Just thoughts run through your mind. How am I gonna afford this? I'm probably never gonna be a mother. Like, what more can you take? They gave us a 1% chance of having a baby on our own. So that brings us to, we were just trying to figure out how to afford it. So basically our plan at that time was to try and save up as much money as we could. We researched it, and at that clinic it was about $7,000 to $10,000 depending on which medicines they used and what avenue of IVF that you wanted to take, I guess. Then we went to another one to get a second opinion, and he basically told us the exact same thing. Their clinic was a little less, but not by much. So at this time, it was basically just, like I said, wait and hopefully raise the money and see what happens. I went through every emotion. I've been through the stressful, heartache, the why me, it's not fair, jealous. It just, it sucks. So fast forward a little more time, we moved into a new home, kind of tried to take our mind off of things, about 2 weeks into moving into our new house, which is the house we're living in now, I said, what the heck? It was a Friday night, and I said, I want to drink tonight. So like I usually do, I just took a pregnancy test just in case, because I would never want to drink if I was pregnant, and since I'm irregular, I never know when to check for pregnancy. So I took the test, and before the specimen went all the way across the pregnancy test, I seen 2 lines. Didn't believe what I was seeing, went out and told my husband. I'm like, oh my God, I think there's 2 lines. And he went and grabbed the camera and he got my reaction. And believe it or not, I had another friend come over, and sure enough, I was pregnant. I got pregnant on my own. So when they say, be patient, it'll happen, or try not to think about it, I am proof that that really happens, because we took our mind off of it, and you know, while moving into our house and stuff, and it just happened. I got lucky, I guess you could say. So when people do say that, as hard as it is, you do have to just try and not stress about it. So approximately a year and a half after my daughter was born, we decided to try for baby number 2. Right back to where I started, basically. Wasn't easy to get pregnant again, or try to get pregnant again. I think I went approximately 2 years before I went and talked to an OBGYN again. This time I kind of told her my history, because this wasn't the same one I had went through before. Due to financing, it was just easier on our wallets to go to my local one. She put me on metformin. I don't remember how many milligrams I was on. I want to say 1,500, and this was by 9 months of being on it. I think I was having periods every 3 months on it, which they said was normal, but to me, I didn't feel like it was. I mean, that's still irregular to me. I ended up going off of the metformin at approximately 9 months of being on it, and she told me at that point to try OPKs, or ovulation test strips, and try to pinpoint ovulation that way. So after she told me that, I went out and got some, and by the second night I took them, I got a positive ovulation test. And approximately 10 days, 11 days after that, I got my second positive pregnancy test. And at this point, I'm thinking, are you serious? Ovulation tests? Why didn't anyone tell me about those sooner? To me, I was like, it was that easy. Well, it wasn't easy, but I wish I would have known about them sooner. So actually, today is my second daughter's second birthday, which fast forward to now, I am trying. Some people think I'm crazy, but trying for baby number 3, like I've said in previous videos. And like I've also said, I am right back to square one again. My periods went back to being irregular. I am currently on 1,000 milligrams of metformin twice a day. And as of right now, I am on a period which I got when my app says I was supposed to. Now, that hasn't happened for me in approximately 3 years, so I'm hoping that's a good sign. Praying baby number 2, baby number 3 is on their way soon. We're trying. So if everyone wants to give me prayers and good thoughts, that'd be great. Just letting nature take its course again, and hope we get blessed again. And if not, then that's just something I'm going to have to accept. So that is my fertility or infertility journey in a nutshell. There is hope, guys, for all of you who are trying for baby number 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. There is hope. Just keep trying, keep the faith, keep praying, keep doing what makes you sane. It will happen. I promise you that. I'm proof of that. I even have to tell myself that on a daily basis. I still find myself saying, why me? A lot of people are like, well, you already have two, you should be happy with that. But the truth is, the struggle is still just as hard if it was my first child or trying for my first child. We've always wanted 3, and we have 2 girls now, so we're hoping to maybe get that boy, but obviously we'd be more than happy with any gender, or like some people say, you're gonna have multiples next time, which we will be happy with that too. So I hope this video gives you guys some hope that I am proof of the struggle of PCOS or infertility. It will happen. I wish you the best of luck and baby dust your way, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.